Hey guys! Okay, so today I'm going to do a tutorial for the Bella Swan wedding makeup. I really wanted to do this on this channel because pretty much every video that I've watched so far trying to show like how to do that makeup has been way too dark in my opinion. They used like way too much eyeliner. They used tons of like blacks and grays instead of mostly brown with a little bit of like gray. So I just really wanted to do it the way that I thought it should be, and I already have the hair tutorial up, so it makes sense to have the makeup up now too. And I was going to post this earlier, but I wanted to wait until I got the DVD to do the look so I could really make sure I knew exactly what it looked like. And the DVD's actually been out for a while now, but, you know, forgive me. I've been busy and, you know, tutorials take a while, so I'm just going to get on with it now. So first you want to start off by making your skin look as completely flawless as possible. I don't think they actually used a lot of makeup on Kristen because in the movie you can actually see her freckles, and I mean, you hardly ever see her freckles at like events and stuff because they do put a lot of makeup on her. So, I mean, they went for like a really natural look, but I mean, I don't know if you can see it on me, but I have lots of acne scarring and a little bit of acne right now, so I have to cover it in order for my face to look clean and flawless. So, I just got a brand new foundation. It's Revlon Color Stay. This is in the color 150 Buff. It's like, I think it's actually like the third lightest color, which is weird because I'm usually the lightest color, but this comes in some really light colors, so that's good for people who are really pale. And it recovers really well for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my foundation brush. I just use a little foundation brush to apply my makeup so that I'm not using my fingers to spread dirt and oil all over my face. Now, I just have to say, the only thing I don't like about this foundation is that you have to pour it out. And my one that I used before was a little squeeze tube, so it was a lot easier to get like a good amount of foundation on there without having to worry about getting too much. Sorry, there's an ant in my arm. So we're just going to apply our foundation. Whoa, and this totally looks the wrong color right now, but it really blends into my skin well. Oh, and in case you couldn't already tell, I did this eye with the makeup so I wouldn't have to waste time showing you guys. Alright, so there's a little bit too much foundation on my face, especially in this little area right here. It got a little, like, clogged up a little bit right there, so I'm just going to use like a little sponge, and I know this one looks really dirty, but just a little bit of foundation on it. I'm just going to use a sponge and kind of blend this area out a little bit. But just like anywhere that it doesn't seem like it's quite even with the rest of the skin, just kind of, you know, blend it out. So I'm also going to have to go in with a little bit of concealer to cover underneath my eyes and other little problem spots that I see, and so I'm using my Almay Clear Complexion Concealer. And I go through this stuff so much. This is my third like thing of concealer, and I've never gone through this much. Like I'm usually like one of those people that like never goes through like an entire thing of anything, and I've already gone through 3 of these, so it's kind of crazy. I use it so much. Okay, so now that we have our foundation covering our skin so that it's as flawless as possible, we need to set it with some powder. So I just use NYC Smooth Skin Pressed Face Powder, and I use it in translucent because I'm just too damn pale. So just translucent, but I mean, obviously, if you're not as pale as me, then you might need like the medium toned one or whatever. But I'm just using a little fluffy brush. I think this was originally supposed to be like a blush brush, but whatever, I use it for powder. And just cover everywhere that you put any concealer or foundation, because otherwise you might come out looking a bit shiny, and she is definitely not shiny in the movie. Okay, so now that we're done covering her face, I'm going to go on to the eyeshadow. First, you want to start off with your primer potion, and I actually just got a brand new primer potion. It's gigantic. It's the exact same thing that I normally use, which is, hold on, it's this one. I always show it to you in like everything. It's just Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. So I love it so much, I just got a huge one because it was on sale. So, I mean, that's like a huge size difference. This thing's going to last me years, I can just tell. Yeah, same thing that I always use, is just big. So you want to put this all over your eye. Wow, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's so windy outside right now. It's like Santa Ana winds or something. So we're just going to put this all up into our eyebrow and up to the side. We're going to put a little bit underneath. And blend that all down underneath your eye. And a little bit into the corner. So we have the whole eye, like as a flawless base. We're going to go with our first shadow from the Naked palette. We're going to use Naked. It's like a slightly darker color than my skin tone. And I'm going to go in with this pretty big, like flat brush. It just applies a lot of eyeshadow. It's good for putting a color that you need all over your eye. So we're just going to go, we're going to pat this on our lid and up to the crease a little bit. We're just going to go over it again, make sure you get a nice amount of shadow so you can see the color, because if you apply it too lightly, you can't really see the color. So just make sure you have a nice coverage. And yeah, you don't want to go all the way up to the brow bone, because you want to leave that the nice light color of the primer. We're going to go in with a nice, small but really fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with my new favorite thing in like the entire world, Naked 2 palette. It's simply amazing. It's like, it's so useful. It's just like the Naked palette, but it's slightly different colors, as you can see. And so we're going to go in with this color Tease. It's kind of like a purpley brown. It's a little dark, but it's not really super dark. And so we're going to get a little bit of that on our brush. And we're going to go in the crease right here and down a little bit into like the V on the outside of your eye. You just really want to blend that in there. And after you've got a little bit of that, you're going to take just a tiny little amount of a slight, like you can see that this is what we just used, and this is just a darker version of like the same kind of color. And so we're going to go in with just a tiny little bit of that and use that to darken up our crease just a little bit more. So it just kind of intensifies where your crease is. And then after we've done that, I'm going to go in with this really small, flat kind of shader brush. And I'm going to use a new color, a color from my Naked 2 palette again. It's called Pistol. And it's just like a medium gray color. It's not too dark. And we're going to get that on our brush, and we're going to just put a little bit of that in the corner. In that little like corner V. And you want to get a little tiny bit on just the very edge of the brush. And you're going to draw a little tiny bit of a line. Like almost like you're winging out the eyeshadow, but just very slightly, and you do not want to use a lot of product. So you're just going to draw like a tiny line. You can kind of connect the line from where you had the shadow before. Just so that it's slightly noticeable. I'm going to take a little bit of the color up into the beginning of the crease. So that is all you need for the gray. Now we're going to do what is sort of her eyeliner, because she's not wearing hardly any like actual eyeliner at all. She just used, it looks like they used a lot of shadow for her eyeliner instead of like, you know, like actual like eyeliner like a pencil. So I'm just going to use this tiny, really flat, it's like a straight squared off edge to apply that thin line of darker gray eyeshadow. And I'm going to use, hold on, I gotta get it. I'm going to use this dark gray color from this little e.l.f. palette that I have. And so yeah, it's just like, it's like a, it's not quite black, but it's pretty dark gray. And so that we get it like dark, you know, like the actual color that it is, because e.l.f. colors aren't really pigmented extremely well. I'm going to get my brush wet with just a little spray bottle. We're just going to spray it so it gets a little bit damp, and I like to just kind of pull on it so that I make sure that the whole thing is coated with water. And we're going to just kind of tap the very top of it into our color. And we're going to line our upper eye just like we would with eyeliner. So I think you can see it. It's just like this little line of dark gray eyeshadow on top. And we're going to take just a little bit of that into the outer corner. So we're just going to go here and we're going to take it up just a little bit to kind of blend it into the rest of the colors so that it's not just a straight line, it kind of blends into a line. So we're going to get our brush wet again because we're going to need to apply it onto our lower lash line now. And really make sure you get the brush, like I'm squeezing it this time because we need to get it really tiny. And use the same color gray that we were just using and just get the top of it. And we're going to draw a line right on top of our lashes. You don't want to go underneath them, you want to go right on them. And you don't want to take this color all the way inside. You want to stop about 2/3 into your eye. So don't get that inner corner. And connect it up into the top lash so you don't have a gap. Alright, so now that we've finished with the eyeshadow, you are going to use just the tiniest bit of eyeliner. I'm going to go in with this little NYC eyeliner because I can't find my normal Urban Decay one right now, but this is fine. Looks fine for me. In fact, it actually kind of almost stays on longer. Besides the point, just use some black eyeliner, and you want to not even draw a line with this. You just want to push a little tiny bit of the color into your upper lashes. So just really make sure you're in your lash and just like little tiny little like dashes just to really reinforce the beginning of your lashes, like your lash line. You really almost don't want it, you don't want to even be able to tell that you're really wearing eyeliner. You want it to look like your lashes are just super thick. I'm actually kind of just like dabbing it into my lashes. So now that you've got the tiny bit of black into your lashes, we're going to go on our lower waterline with a white pencil just to open up our eyes a little bit, because she has absolutely no color whatsoever on her waterline. Like there's no eyeliner or anything at all, it's just very light. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this white, and it really doesn't even show up as that much of color because this one's really cheap, it's just another NYC one. What I really use this for is kind of to clean up. Because I don't know if you can see the brush, but like there's a little bit of like eyeshadow on it. And so for me it really just picks up any loose shadow that might have gotten on my waterline. It just leaves like a tiny little bit of color. So it just kind of opens and brightens the eye. Now we're going to go on to mascara. And you want to curl your lashes first, because her eyelashes are very thick and full and curled and luscious lashes, you know? I mean, they probably used fake eyelashes, but I mean, I don't know normal people who like to put fake eyelashes on all the time, so just curl them. I'm just using my finger to kind of separate them, because sometimes if you curl them, they'll curl and like to stick together, and we don't want that. So after you've curled them, you want to go in with a volumizing mascara. I'm going to use Falsies Volume Express in Black Drama. Just has this nice brush. It's kind of like angled, and it has lots of great little bristles on it. So I'm just going to let this dry a little bit so that it won't go on so clumpy on my lashes. And you're going to take this as close to the beginning of your lashes as you possibly can. So you really just want to work it into the beginning of the lashes and then pull up on them. Now that we've gone over them with one coat, I'm going to go in with this little duo brush that I have. This one I use for eyebrows and this one I use for my eyelashes. And we're just going to kind of wiggle this on our lashes so that it really makes sure that they're separated and aren't clumped together. And actually pull them out like so that they kind of go away from your face a little bit more. And then we're going to apply one more light coat of mascara to just the tips so that we get the length. And I'm going to go over it with a little brush one more time. Alright, so apparently I just used up all my memory, and I totally didn't think that would happen because I had 24 minutes of battery, or of memory left on my camera. Apparently I spent 24 minutes explaining how to do half of the makeup. Well, not half, but a good portion of the makeup. But I'm like, this is ridiculous. It should not take 24 minutes to explain how to do makeup. But anyway, so I already did a little bit more of, like after it cut off. So I'll just explain what I did. I went in with my little mini mascara. It's a mini brush. It was by Maybelline, and it's just this little tiny brush that's really good for using it on lower lashes. And so I just applied a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes, and I really made sure to press it into the very beginning of where your eyelashes start on the bottom, and then to get the length a little bit on the bottom, because what you want to do when you apply mascara on the lower lash is you don't want to bring it down like how you do on when you put mascara up. You just want to tap it onto your lash, and then I went in with this same little comb that we used for pushing up and separating all of our upper lashes. I just put it like right on there, and then I brought it down a little bit, and it brings down a little bit of the mascara so that you have that little bit of length on your lower lashes, but it's not like you're like, whoa, there's my lash like down to here. And then I started talking about how her eyebrows are really perfect in the movie, and she probably had hers like waxed, or maybe they plucked them or something, but we really want to make sure that our eyebrows look as perfect as possible. So I went in with the same little brush that we used to do the eyeliner, and I used a dark brown from my Naked palette, Dark Horse, right there, and I just filled in my eyebrows. And before this video had started, I actually went through and I plucked any little extra hairs that I have. So now we're going to move on to the last bit, which is the cheeks and the lips. I'm going to use this just big fluffy blush brush, and this, like I've said before, I only have 2 blushes and I really need to get more, but I'm going to use this really nice light to like a medium pink blush. If I had more blushes, I would use something that's a little bit lighter than this. This is a little bit darker than what I would want. I'd use something that's really like a nice light pink, but I'll have to deal with this one. And I'm going to put a little bit of it just on the little apples of your cheeks, and really brushing it up and kind of getting it all over your cheeks. You just want to get a nice, blushing bride kind of look. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a highlighter color, and I'm going to actually use just this really big, fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm actually going to use an eyeshadow too. I'm going to use this color called Booty Call. It's like a really light, almost white pink, with a little tiny bit of shimmer in it. I'm going to get just a little bit on there, and I'm going to apply it right underneath my eyes, right above my cheekbone. And it just adds this nice little lightened up effect to your face and makes you look like you're kind of glowing. So that's it for the face, and all we have left to do is put a little bit of lipstick on. I'm actually going to use this really cheap lipstick that I bought. It's from Wet n Wild. It's in the color, it's just a number, it's 516C, and it looks pretty bright here, but it's kind of just this nice peachy kind of corally color, and since it's cheap, it doesn't come out very bright on the lips, so I'm just going to use this one. And just apply a thin coat on each of your lips. And that's it for the look. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously this took forever, as I explained. The video actually cut me off at 24 minutes. And I hope that you think this looks good, because I think it looks pretty darn close to, how she really looks in the movie, and I think it's so pretty, and it's simple, but it just looks really nice. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the hair tutorial already, go look at that, and then you can have the whole complete look. Maybe you can even go to the wedding store, Alfred Angelo, and try on her wedding dress, if you're that into it. So just enjoy the look, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.